I want to do a review for you on this ceiling fan from Homlit. It was gifted to me. It's a beautiful 3-blade fan, a nice generous size. So I want to show you what you get with the fan so that you know if you have all the parts you need, and then we're going to put it together so I can show you how easy that is. So the first thing are the blades themselves. You can see how they are packaged very well to protect them. Come in various different wood finishes, caps to go over everything. This is going to be the cap that sits right on the ceiling in order to kind of hide all of the wires. This part here is what is going to screw straight into your ceiling. It'll kind of, it's like a little ball and socket joint thing. This is the motor. Again, you've got all of the wires with very easy connections. So there's not a lot of, the only part you're going to actually have to twist and use the electrical covers for is actually joining it to the wiring in your house. But all of the other wiring for this, including wiring it into the light that it comes with, is just sort of these snap fixtures. So everything is going to be super easy. A remote control, and this is the sensor for the remote as well. So you're going to be able to operate this not only from the switch, but with a remote control. There are different light settings, being able to change the speed of the fan, the direction of the fan, all of that. All of our little hardware pieces, again, for the cap for the ceiling. The light itself is not glass, it's a plastic. Again, it doesn't have like a traditional light bulb. You'll see that these are LED lights, so you're not gonna have to change the light bulb. Everything else in this fan is the wood blades, the metal, everything else except the cover itself is not glass, so we don't have to worry about that part. So now let's get everything laid out and then start assembling. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to attach the blades to the motor itself. As you can see in each of the blades, there's a little bit of a cutout that's going to show you exactly where this goes. You're going to lay that right in here like so. You're going to find the motor itself, so find the underside of it, and you can see how there are 6 holes. So you're going to line the blade up on any 2 of those holes like so, and you just put the screws in. It's going to be easiest to and fastest to be able to use a drill just to screw them in, but you can do it by hand as well. And then you're going to repeat it for the other 2. The next thing we are going to do is attach the light to the fan itself. We're going to remove the 3 screws, and you're going to use those screws. You're going to replace them with this mounted on. Okay, then you're going to want to connect this right in here to the light source, okay? But just connect that right in there. Okay, next you're gonna flip your fan completely over. So now it's facing the way it would hang from your ceiling with the top part exposed. Okay, now we are going to fit on the rod that is going to attach up to the ceiling. So the first thing is that we are going to put on the large fitting here like so. It's going to go this way because it's going to go up flush to the ceiling to kind of hide and enclose everything. The next part is this gasketed fitting, which is a very tight fit. Okay, so it's going to slide on and it's going to stay in place wherever you put it. There's a point to that. And then we've got this smaller one, which will slide down and cover everything with the fan. Feed the wires here from the fan up through our pipe. Okay, so fair warning, in order to feed both of these wires through, you are going to have to kind of unscrew these 2 screws to be able to take this metal bar through the top out, or the yellow wire, because the head on it's a little bigger, will not fit up through. So now we have the wires fed through all the way, and now this sits in the base here, and we're going to lock it in and lock it in place with our key. Okay. So if I get a bit closer, we have a screw that in here just to kind of hold it in place. The next thing we need to do is attach this part, the receiver that's going to work with the remote control. Attach the colors together, okay? So we have a yellow that snaps into the yellow. There we go. Okay, so that is snapped in. Then these wires themselves are going to be what you hardwire up into your ceiling. So the next step now is putting this in the ceiling. It's going to be made easier if you mount this first, okay? So you're going to mount this to the box on your ceiling. And then what you can do is, as you are working and trying to connect the wires, instead of having to hold it up, you basically slide it in like so, and then this is going to sit and hold while you are getting the wiring connected. There's a grounding wire here. Once everything's connected, you kind of put everything inside this metal box, or you can push a little bit of it up into your junction box, and you're gonna slide this all the way up to be flush with the ceiling, and this gasket is gonna hold it in place so that everything is there. Then you basically sync your remote control and your light is ready to use. I'm gonna do a separate video on actually installing it onto the ceiling and syncing the remote control with the light and showing the different speeds and different lights and whatnot and how you can use it. But for now, this is basically how you assemble the light, and I hope this was helpful.